Hi, my name's Brittany. I've been at the Reach since November of 2022. It's been a long journey to get to where we are. My life didn't really include God growing up. My family didn't pray. We didn't go to church. As a child, I sought out church. I went on Sundays when the vacation Bible school or the Sunday school bus came through. I went to church by myself. Eventually I took my brother to vacation Bible school over the summer, but as a family we never attended. God wasn't talked about in our house, so I didn't have a faith life growing up. I had friends eventually in high school that their parents made them attend every Sunday, but I still didn't know what that life was about. And it wasn't until I graduated high school and was off in college when I started attending just on Sundays with a friend of mine. And we attended church sporadically here and there. It never hit home for me. I never felt like I needed it in my life. I didn't feel like I had a true connection to God at any point. It truly wasn't until I went through the darkest time in my life. I was raped when I was 23, and I knew the man who raped me, and he offered to pay for an abortion. I, however, knew that that wasn't an option for me, and I chose to give life to the creation that clearly God wanted in this world. And you all know him as the very rambunctious, wild 13-year-old who loves to take pictures at church now. And I can't imagine where my life would be if it hadn't been for that moment. Granted, I question God. I question if there was a God, why would that have happened to me? And why would I have had to go through what I went through? Why would I have to now look at a baby for the rest of his life and be reminded of what I went through? But I don't look at him that way. I don't look at my son and remember how he came to be. I just look at my son and I see a true creation from God, and I know that he is a blessing, and I'm lucky to have that. After Cameron came, I knew that clearly God wanted him here for a reason, and I needed to find a home. So we started attending churches and trying to find a place that felt comfortable for all of us. We did attend a church for 4.5 years that felt good for me, but it was never right for my kids. And Cameron especially, I felt like I was forcing him to go. I was forcing him to participate in church and be a member of our family and show up there every weekend, and it wasn't what he wanted. So he rebelled, and he didn't want anything to do with a faith walk or with God. And we hit another dark spot in my life. In October of last year, I had to basically hit rock bottom again and went to jail for 45 days. And that was the longest 45 days of my life, being away from my kids, not being able to see them every day. For me, life stopped, but for them, life went on. They got to continue to live their life every day, and things happened, and the world was still turning for them, but for me, it literally stopped. And again, I found myself questioning, like, why is this happening to me? You know, I didn't grow up in a world that included, drugs or alcohol. I'd never done drugs. I'd never really been an alcoholic. I had drank, with friends or whatever, but none of that wasn't a life that I lived, so I didn't know how I ended up where I was. But I think that I took my life for granted, and I took all the good things that I had for granted, and I needed to hit some sort of rock bottom to be reminded that I had good things in life, and that I could continue to pursue God and that I could grow with my kids. So when I came home in November, my parents had actually been keeping my kids, and they had started to go to the Reach, which I knew Abby and Tim really well, having had Remy for, at that point, 7 months. And we had attended one other service at the Reach prior to me going away in October. And my youngest actually got baptized at the Reach. So for me, it didn't feel like an uncomfortable place to go. We started in on my first Sunday back, and we have attended every Sunday since. My kids have all grown so much since we started. My son is actively pursuing a relationship with God, and he prays and he does Bible plans, and the girls are growing within our church and within our church family. So the Reach has really, truly just connected my little family unit again and given us purpose and given us reason to continue on, because I most definitely didn't know what my purpose was. And I know that I see a glimpse of it now, and had it not been for everyone inside the Reach, I don't know that I'd ever have seen it. I had closed my eyes to everything that was good in life. I took literally everything for granted. And it truly wasn't until I hit rock bottom and had the biggest internal argument with God that I finally opened my eyes. And I'm thankful for that. I thought that I would resent that moment in time and that I would look down on myself for it and that I would constantly want to keep it a secret, but I don't think it's something I need to keep a secret because God made it happen. Didn't know then why, but I'm glad that He did, because I don't think my kids and I would be where we are today had He not.